Hey guys, welcome. So we are going to be chatting all about winter wellness. And it's such a great topic. I thought that this was a great time of year. I've been getting lots of messages because the kids are back in school, because New England weather has been wonky as it has, it seems, all over the place. And I don't know about anybody else, but this time of the year, like schedules start changing with the girls, with myself, with my clients, and all of a sudden stuff's all over the place. So I find that, you get a little bit more stressed, you get a little bit more crazy, and you're just that much more susceptible to illness. And I want to kind of start there because staying healthy or staying well isn't about treating something. It isn't about making sure that, you're taking everything. Hey, Michelle, making sure that you are, treating something after you already get the sniffle or the cough or anything like that. It's about staying healthy before something happens. Because if you're already living a well life, then you are so much less susceptible to getting sick. And believe me, as a mom of three, going back to school, training clients, training myself for my own races, I don't have time to be taken out of the game. Like, mama don't have time for that. That's something that we hear often in this house that my kids know. So I have to make sure that I'm taking care of myself. So you're not going to like this part, but the most important things when it comes to staying well is making sure that you're eating healthy. That means more fruits and veggies and lean protein and less processed crap. I know that sounds really easy. It's hard to make when the cookies and the cake are staring you in the face. But if you manage stress, if you manage stress, you're so much less susceptible to falling to the sugary and caffeine and alcohol trap. Why? Because those things look so much more inviting when you are stressed out. Because the last thing that you want to do is make another decision, which choosing healthy foods is making a conscious choice. The last thing you want to do is make another decision when you're stressed about everything else that you have going on in your life. Exercise is so important when it comes to staying healthy. Your body was meant to move. There's a reason why your elbows bend and your knees and your hips bend. It's because you're supposed to be moving them. The human body wasn't meant to sit for hours and hours and hours all day. You were meant to move. It doesn't mean that you have to do some kind of crazy workout. Not at all. As a matter of fact, you could do yoga. You could go outside and take a walk. It doesn't have to be high impact. It doesn't have to be where you are like breathing and you're going to throw up. That is not how it has to be. You just have to move your body. Put in those small little breaks. It's really nice, and it allows you to be able to move more throughout the day than trying to like fit in an hour workout. Once again, I don't have time for that either. And then the most important thing that I tell my clients is to make sure you get sleep. I know, but go out there, Google it. Google sleep and good health. Google sleep and focus. Google sleep and losing weight. Google sleep and you name it. Sleep is such an important regulator when it comes to our health. If you are not getting enough sleep, guaranteed you're going to get sick. If you are not getting enough sleep, you're going to gain weight. If you are not getting enough sleep, you're going to make bad choices regarding your food. If you are not getting enough sleep, you are going to skip your workout. If you are not getting enough sleep, you're going to be a royal witch with your family. If you are not getting enough sleep, you're not going to be able to focus at work. If you aren't getting enough sleep, you're going to make bad financial decisions. I mean, the list goes on and on and on and on. Sleep is an important regulator of the body. If you are not getting enough sleep, it doesn't matter if you are eating really well. It doesn't matter if you're getting tons of exercise in. It doesn't matter what essential oils you're using or what you're doing to take care of your health. If you are not getting enough sleep, All of those things are just like trying to put a Band-Aid over the dam. It's just not gonna work. It's not gonna hold back the rush of things that are coming at your body to knock it off course. Sleep is so, so important, and it's the one thing that we constantly chip away at and neglect. So you cannot neglect those big things. But there are other things that are really simple that we can do that also support our bodies. And nature gave them to us. We've been using them for thousands and thousands of years. They are nature's made products. They are the products that we used to turn to in order to support our health. So that way our bodies were running at their tip-top best. And some of them, if you're a Young Living member, which most of you in this group are, if you're a Young Living member and you started with the premium starter kit, most of the time you have several of these essential oils that can help you right off the bat. One of my favorites is Thieves. This is awesome in a tea. Put a drop in your Ningxia Red. Why Thieves? Well, it's a proprietary blend of essential oils that have been shown to help to support the immune system when added into the body. So you can add this to a teaspoon of honey and just take it on down. If it doesn't necessarily taste the best, so I like to add it to these caplets. And all you have to do is open these up and you add a couple of drops to them, and then you can take it down just like a pill. But in the winter time, when it's cold outside or when the temperature starts dropping, you get that chill to the bone. I like to add a drop to a teaspoon of honey and 8 ounces of water and make my own like body supportive tea, immune supportive tea. It's warming because of the cinnamon and oregano that is in Thieves. So those natural herbs go ahead and warm the body from the inside out. So when you've got that chill and you feel the rawness of the day, especially with these fall days, and we've had tons of rain lately, Thieves really helps you to warm the body from the inside out so that way you stay well. Another one that's in here that I really like is Raven. For some of you, you may have had RC in yours. Both of these work really, really well to help to open up those airways. Why is that important, you might be thinking? Well, if you live in a house in the Northeast or where it gets chilly at night, you're turning on the heat, you may be turning on a fireplace or a wood stove. Those are really drying to the body. When the body doesn't have enough humidity in it, meaning if you ain't drinking your water, and it's hard to drink enough water when we're combated with all the heat and a wood stove to keep our homes warm. So by adding some Raven or RC to a diffuser like the one that I have going on here in the background, helps to open up those airways so that way you can breathe in more oxygen. Oxygen is a life giver to your body. Your body actually can't go without oxygen for more than about 3 minutes. Then organs and tissues start dying. So you can go without water a lot longer, but you can't go without oxygen. And as we know, water is H2O. So there are oxygen on that. That's why we need water in our lives. So this opening up our airways so we can get more oxygen in, so we can breathe some easier as our mucous membranes in our nose and our sinuses. That's why you get that sinus pressure. All those mucous membranes start drying out, and when they dry out, they become more susceptible to anything that you come into contact with. So keeping those airways open allow you to be able to keep them hydrated, drinking your water. And so I love the smell of RC and Raven. They have a nice eucalyptus and peppermint blend to them, really opening up those airways. And if you are a person that loved Vicks, right? Like that smell of Vicks, I don't know why you would love that, but some people do. I like to add and create my own chest rubs. So Raven and RC, this is jojoba oil, and all that I do is I put just a little drop. You can use whatever, you can use coconut oil or, you know, olive oil, whatever you have around. And then I just add a drop of my essential oil to that. And then you can just go ahead and rub your chest. Now we talked about how sleep is important, right? Add some lavender to this at bedtime. Not only are you opening up those airways, but the lavender helps to calm your nervous system so that way you can sleep better. So now you've talked about helping with stress, with sleep, and with keeping those airways open. Talk about a winter wellness triple whammy. Like all of those things help your body to operate in tip-top form. And it's super simple. I just made myself a chest rub in the 1 minute that I was just saying that. That's so easy, and there's no gunk. You know exactly what you just rubbed onto your skin and onto your body. With that in mind, you can also add lemon and copaiba to your tea or to your water to help you to stay hydrated, to help you to stay well as that drying air starts to come in. That's a great way to flavor your water without adding any calories and without adding any preservatives or gunk. Remember, the more things that you add to your body, the more that your body has to metabolize them or figure out what to do with them before it can break them down to use them. All of those additional steps add stress onto the body. And the more stress you add onto the body, the more you weaken your immune system. Not what we want to do. So those are some helpful things that some of you may already have that are right in your starter kit that you can get started with right away to help to boost your immune system and support your body through this winter wellness season. Now, let's get to some other goodies that I have here as well. One of the new areas that we're learning about, and we seem to be learning more and more every day, is the importance of good gut health on the body. When we're talking about gut health, we're talking about the stomach through the large and small intestine. And what we're actually finding is that there are more receptors through the gut and the intestinal wall than there actually are in a lot of other areas in our body. That means that that is the pathway for lots of things, from emotional health, psychological health, from metabolism to immune support, you name it, and the gut can have a connection to that. So with keeping your gut happy, and a happy gut helps to keep everything moving, we've got our probiotic. So we have Life 9, which comes in a nice little capsule form. It's a small little capsule, and this has about 9 billion live bacteria in it. And you can just go ahead and take those down. Or if you are not a person who likes to take pills, we also have what's called Mighty Bites. And this is a probiotic. It's made specifically for children. Don't ask me why there's this like wolf guy here on it. It's for kids. It ain't for dogs. It's for kids. But this tastes like a pixie stick. And this is an easily digestible probiotic. Now, a hint when you're taking your probiotic, take it at night about a half hour before bedtime. The reason being is there's actually clinical data that probiotics do best when they're digested overnight, and that has to go back to that sleep and the support of the body. Now you know why I was talking so much about sleep. But sleep and support of the body. Hi, Anne-Marie. Sleep and support of the body. So probiotics actually work better when they are taken at night prior to bedtime because there's nothing else in there in order to slow it down so that good bacteria can get right in there and kind of help to work on the large, small intestine as well as the stomach. to be able to support them. That's kind of your first defense. If we think of how winter wellness, right? We've got our skin and our hands. If you got any cuts, that's an area where things can get into your nose and your mouth, your eyes and your ears. But once things past your nose and your mouth, it's really your gut where the buck stops. If something's going to continue to metabolize, it's going to get past the gut. So use your probiotic in order to help to be an area of defense for your gut. So that way you've got extra fighters on board. I'm going to go ahead and take mine now. It's that that easy. Woo. Don't try to talk with powder in your mouth. That does not go over well. But it tastes good. And that's the plus of it. So your probiotic. Now, I talked about your skin as a barrier, right? So your skin is a natural barrier for your body. It's actually your body's largest organ is your skin. What goes onto it penetrates it. And if you have any cuts or anything, that could be an area of weakness where you can let any type of foreign invader in or anything that you come into contact into your body. So with that in mind, I like the Thieves Foaming Hand Soap. I have to tell you, I have a personal story when it comes to the Thieves Foaming Hand Soap. My daughter, Catherine, our youngest, she's got hazel green eyes, fair skin, like curly hair. I don't know. I always say I ran out of ink when I started having my kids, and each one got lighter and lighter. Go figure. She's got more of my husband's Irish. The rest of them look more like me and have more Portuguese in them. But the poor little dear has sensitive skin. That's the Irish. So at school, they were washing their hands, you know, coming in and out of the classroom after going to the bathroom and art and everything else. And her hands started getting really, really raw, and I couldn't figure it out. So when she was home for a week vacation, the like eczema that was being created on her hands as a result of, it's really a dermatitis. The dermatitis that was being created on her hands as a result of the irritation went away. And the only difference was we were using Thieves Foaming Hand Soap. So this has no sulfactants, it has no phthalates, it has no carrageenan, it has nothing in it that could be, no colors, no preservatives, no irritants. So it has nothing in it that could really irritate or be harsh on the skin. But at the same time, it's a really, really excellent cleaner. So because of the essential oil blend in Thieves, it's helping her to be able to clean her hands, but in a way that's not stripping them. So it's not harsh, it's not setting off any type of sensitivity to her, and she can go about her day. But the same goes for you. You want things that are going to be harsh on what it is that you're coming into contact with, but not harsh in stripping your hands or your skin. And the reason being is you don't want that dryness, right? We're back to dryness, H2O, water, staying hydrated. We don't want to dry out our hands. We want our hands to stay supple and the skin to stay soft, because anytime that your hands dry out, right, you start getting those cuts around your fingers. Your hands are much more susceptible to any type of cut. You could have knuckles or that are cracking. All of those things open up the skin to any type of bacteria or virus that it comes into contact with. So you want to keep your skins nice, your hands clean, but also not strip them of any of the good stuff. And I love Thieves Foaming Hand Soap because it tends to do that. I've seen it time and time again with our daughter. And if you're wondering about how effective Thieves is, I encourage you to look up the essential oils that are in Thieves and do your own research. Be your own detective. Look at what the research out there says about Thieves cleaner or Thieves products and how effective they are with helping to keep the body well. Now, when it comes to that, let's also talk about the Thieves Home Cleaner. So in our home, whenever we come into contact or we've been out and about and everybody seems to be doing the like sniffle, cough, shuffle, I call it, like, yep, Thieves Home Cleaner. This cleaner makes us, for our family, about 36 of our big cleaners. So this one bottle will last me easily 6 months. I use this to clean everything in our home, absolutely everything. But when we are in the wintertime season, I specifically make sure that we are cleaning doorknobs, anything that has like, so the handle of the refrigerator, phones, TV remotes, things that our hands are touching time and time again. And I use our Thieves Home Cleaner and I just go ahead and spray the entire handle. And a lot of times, if I have a paper towel, I might go ahead and wipe it with the paper towel, but a lot of times I just let it air dry. And the reason being is just like you would spray your home with Lysol, that's exactly what I'm using my Thieves Home Cleaner for. This stuff really cleans every single surface in our home. And because you're also breathing in the scent of anything that you're cleaning with, right? You are either opening up your airway or constricting your airway. And we already talked about why it's important that we keep our airways open. And that's because we can help to keep them hydrated and stay well. So Thieves Home Cleaner cleans absolutely everything in our house for pennies, and it's safe for the dog, for the cat, and for our kids to use it. Now, let's go back to those airways, and we're kind of wrapping up here. I promise to keep this to a half hour. For those airways, breathe again. This stuff is handy in a pinch because it's already a pre-made roll-on. This is the strongest airway opener. That doesn't even make sense. But this is the strongest essential oil blend to help to keep your airways open. There we go. To help to keep your airways open that Young Living makes. If you use it too close to your eyes will tear up. So I often say to people, neck down. And when it comes to keeping your airways open, and I love this about Breathe Again, because it's a pre-made roller, is you can go ahead and use it to roll right on the back of your neck. Start at the nape of your neck, think behind your ear, go to the nape of your neck, all the way down to the top of your shoulder. The reason that you want to rub it there is actually because your sinuses drain down the back of your neck. That's why you get the sore throat. Your sinuses drain down the back of your neck. And we talked about how with those winter months and everything being drying, you want to keep everything open. So rubbing from the base of your head down the back of your neck helps to act upon, I can actually smell it right now coming through my sinus cavity, helps to open up that sinus cavity and keep everything open, helping to keep you well. All right, some other things that we have that do something similar would be Ravenstava and eucalyptus. There are actually 3 different types of eucalyptus. Why do we have so many blends that help to keep the airways open? The reason being is different blends work for different people. It's true. Different blends work for different people. A lot of times our airways are constricted for many, many reasons. And so the different blend will work differently for you versus somebody else. So if you find that one isn't quite working as well as you would like it to work, try a different one. Try them in the diffuser. So I actually have eucalyptus in the diffuser behind me right now. I love to run my diffuser at night with eucalyptus and lavender, or eucalyptus and peace and calming, or eucalyptus and stress away. Do you hear? Sleep, stress, and keeping those airways open. What did I talk about at the beginning? The keys to keeping yourself well. All you're doing is using these essential oils as easy ways. We've talked about really easy ways to be able to use these to support those ways of keeping your body healthy. We also have Sniffles, which is the chest rub that my kids prefer. It's a little bit lighter. It's more of that pre-blended eucalyptus, peppermint, and lavender already made up together. I started at first with rubbing this on my kids' back and then moved to their chest. Sometimes I'll put it in the diffuser, but most of the time I'm using it as a light chest rub where it doesn't have that overly strong eucalyptus smell. So this kind of smells a little bit more on the lavender side and less on the eucalyptus. If you have a child that's under the age of 8, this can be a really great blend for them. If they're over the age of 8, probably not so much. But if you have somebody with a weakened immune system or elderly, you may want to try Sniffles or the entire kids scent line first because they're a little bit more mild and gentle to the body. Now, I've got 2 others, last ones to talk about. Oregano. Oregano has been used for thousands and thousands of years to support the immune system. It's why it's used in a lot of cooking and soups. Soup, 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 right? Why do we eat soup? To help to strengthen our wellness during the wintertime season. Think of all the things I talked about before. Comfort food lowers your stress level. It's got tons of water in it, so it's moisturizing and hydrating to the body. It's warming, so it warms you from the inside out. A lot of times soup is something that's been boiling or cooking for hours, so it's been breaking down. If you're using meats, it's been breaking down the bone, creating that collagen bone broth for you, warming your body. But we also know that bone broth helps to support your metabolism, your gut health. All of those things that we talked about before already. Oregano is used in those recipes for supporting specifically because it's that nice earthy scent to it, but also because it is a natural immune supporter. And I encourage you to look this one up. Do a quick Google search. Whenever I'm doing a Google search on essential oils, I'm always looking for reputable articles. And I specifically look up clinical trials. When you're looking up clinical data, look at the top and just read the abstract. You'll get enough information without having to dive deep into the clinical trial. ImmunoPower does what it says. This thing is like East meets West. That's how I'm going to describe it because it's one of the few essential oils that actually has cumin in it. So it's got a really, oh, Andrea, thank you so much. I try to keep it simple, but also educational. So I hope that you're getting that out of this. But ImmunoPower really is that East meets West. So this has cumin in it. It's one of the few essential oils that actually does have cumin in it. But it also has mountain savory, cinnamon, your oregano, clove, and Dorado Azul, which is actually a form of eucalyptus, as well as several other essential oils in there. But as you can hear when I read these out, cumin coming more from the Western medicine, think India, and then you have your eucalyptuses coming more from actually South America is where a lot of our eucalyptus comes from. And then you have oregano coming from the Mediterranean area, and cinnamon also out of Africa and that India area. And then you have frankincense and clove. So it's a lot of that East meets West. And why? Because every single culture has a grandma's recipe. Every single culture has a grandma's recipe. It's that recipe that when you come home and you've had a bad day, grandma has a soup for you. Or you've come home and you're not feeling 100%, you got a little sniffle, and grandma's got a tea for you. You come home and your head is pounding and grandma's got just the thing that you need, right? Every culture has a grandma's recipe that has been passed down for generations. If you were to read the essential oils that are in here, most of them all being herbs, I don't think a single one of them isn't an herb. No, just about every one of them is an herb. Then you can see why they are all put into immunopower. Because this is, it doesn't matter where you've lived in the world, but this has one of the ingredients that your grandma had in your family's secret recipe to help to keep you well. Now, why is that important? Because grandmas knew. Those were the secrets that were passed down generation to generation that were helped to keep you in tip-top, form, regardless of what was going on in your life. This added into your diffuser or as a rub for your feet or a chest rub or a back rub, rubbing your shoulders with it with a little bit of lavender, just soothing. Talk about easing stress, because you'll get the comfort of the scent that will hit you that will be like, oh my God, that smells like something that I remember. Or because of the power of the essential oils that are in this blend to just help to support your immune system in general. That's why it's kind of called immunopower. I really think it should be called like grandma's chicken soup. But people would probably be like, that ain't my grandma's chicken soup, so we couldn't call it that. But immunopower. I'm gonna run over here real quick because I just thought of two. All right, you can see we're in my office. So these are two that I am never without. The Thieves Hand Purifier and the Thieves Spray. Both of these in a bag, in your backpack, wherever you are. This is all that I use as like my on-the-go support, my on-the-go prevention. And the reason being, once again, hydrating, not drying. We've talked about that numerous times. And kind of like my Lysol in a tiny little bottle, because I never know what I'm going to come in contact with. Once again, both of these are Thieves. If you don't know about the power of Thieves, Google it. Google it, Google it, Google it. But these are absolutely wonderful. So these are just like literally the tip of the iceberg when it comes to helping to prevent anything occurring. Think of always acting as prevention first. But most importantly, it's the most simple things. I talked about a lot of things tonight. Choose one and go from there. Choose one, start doing that for a week or for 2 weeks, and then add things on. But remember, it all comes back to basic, simple principles. Make sure that you're moving your body. Make sure that you're getting plenty of sleep. Diminish stress and eat whole foods. Eat whole foods that your body recognizes, not the processed crap that your body has to work hard and stress at in order to, metabolize and digest. And then support your digestive system. Probiotics, probiotics, probiotics. And good food, healthy food, lower stress, get your sleep. Do you see the whole wheel? It all keeps on coming back to those simple things. all of the essential oils and the products that I recommended tonight and talked about tonight just go into supporting your body and helping you to be able to have simple ways to do those things. Move, eat, sleep, and reduce stress. I call them the 4 pillars of wellness. I call them the 4 things that are key to keeping your health in balance. And with that, that's all that I have for you guys tonight. I hope that this was helpful and I hope that you enjoyed it. If you have any questions about anything that I talked about tonight, go ahead and ask away. Or if you are already a member, you can just go ahead and add anything that we talked about into a quick order or an essential rewards order. If you don't know how to do that, you can ask me. And if there's anything, maybe you aren't a new member and maybe you'd like to get started with a starter kit, or maybe you'd like to purchase some of the products that we talked about tonight, go ahead and message me, drop me a little like, hey, I want in on that. And I will make sure to circle back around to you and make sure that you get all the support that you need. Like I said, this is all about support and prevention than it is about treating anything. And that's what's lovely about our group, is that's what we're about: education, support, and making sure that you are living your best healthy life. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining tonight, and I will see several of you soon.